So hey guys, Tech United back with another video, and in this video we're going to be looking at another inexpensive webcam, and this is the Microsoft LifeCam webcam, two cams in the name, and this is an inexpensive webcam. It only costs like around £50, so it really is quite inexpensive, and it goes about head-on-head price range with this Logitech C920. Now, this is Microsoft's kind of take. It is pretty old and it is aimed at a different use case. But I'm just going to get this out there right now, is it only shoots 720p video at 30 frames a second at maximum, which I'm just going to put that out there now because I think it's one of the biggest downsides to this actual webcam, as it is, you know, we are in 2016 where 1080p is like the bare minimum. So, you know, 720p is not that good these days, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, let's go into the actual pricing, and I'll talk about pros and cons, and I'll give you a video test of the actual product and the camera. So I pulled out my Asus Chromebook Flip here, and just for reference, the C920 HD webcam, which shoots 1080p by the way, by Logitech, that runs for about £60, £57 in the UK currently. So I would have thought either $60 to $70 in the US. And the actual Microsoft LifeCam, there it is right there, LifeCam Webcam Cinema device. It runs for £42 in the UK and $42 in the US, hashtag Brexit. But as you can see, it is pretty cheap, it's well reviewed, and it is mainly for business. I would have thought business people would use this a lot more often compared to the standard use case for every day, because I feel like you can get a lot better webcam for such a lot cheaper, or maybe slightly more expensive. So I'd recommend going for one of those. So let's talk about the cable first. So the cable has a Microsoft logo. It has a Microsoft logo on the actual body of the USB, and it's got another charging port. And this is silver plated, so that is quite nice to see. And it comes with a rubberized cable, no braided cable here. It's quite long, I'd say. It's about possibly a meter, a couple of feet long. And you also have some labeling which tells you some information about the device. You can probably just see there. And we're going to be talking about the mechanism now, which you can use to latch on to anything. This is brilliant. I think this is better than the Logitech's one, simply because of the versatility. So I can have it bent up that way. It's a fully flexible rubber material with a large bit on here and a Microsoft logo on the top. And it's fully flexible. You can twist it that way as well, because there's a hinge on here to twist it. And this is a full hinge material. It's kind of similar to what you get on the Surface Pro due to that bendiness, and it looks really cool. And I feel like it's a lot more versatile. You can bend it to sit like that, you can push it around a monitor or something like that, and it works really well. And over the couple of months I've had this thing now, it hasn't seemed to have lost its rigidity, which is good to see. Talking about the main body of the camera, it feels like it's a rubber, it's got a matte coating, a matte black coating on the outside, and it feels like it's possibly aluminium. I can't tell, as its coating does make it feel plasticky, but it definitely is cold to the touch when you haven't touched it for a while, which is you know, it gives you that quality feeling. So you have some Microsoft branding. You have I think that is a pick up call button, possibly one of the two. One of the biggest features on this microphone, as they seem to boast about, is the microphone on this camera. So it's a noise cancelling microphone, quite a large one to be honest. So lots of little microphones which are, you know, programmed to only listen to your noise, to what's coming out of your mouth instead of something in the background. So that's quite cool. Then you have this silver plating around the actual camera lens, which says a couple of things on it. So it says wide angle lens. I don't know if you can actually see this. I've probably been out the frame for most of the time. It's an f2.0 HD lens with a 720p 30 fps recording, which I probably told you about already. And it features autofocus, so no manual focusing, I don't think. And it is a widescreen camera lens. So as you can see, that is the actual lens. There it is, got a couple of fingerprints on there, so I have to remove those for the next frame. I'll do it now. There we go. So it does feature some nice, a nice lens on top, which says HD with a little blue LED to show that it's recording on top of the camera, which is nice to see that they've actually included this instead of just like a large piece of plastic over some cheaper webcams. On the back you have your wire, which is just coming straight out the microphone, and the actual camera body, which is not removable. Yeah, but overall it's a nice design. It's definitely different to what you'd normally see in an everyday webcam. It's nice. It's like a bullet microphone or whatever, how you'd say. I really like the idea of it. It does feel like metal, so that's good to see that it feels premium. And you also do get, just to say that it comes with this rubber cable holder, so you can wrap up the cable if you're on the go, because this is primarily for business people who travel a lot and things like that. So if they need a webcam on the go, this is perfect for them. As you can see, that's what it looks like. You just feed the cable through and it will cable manage, which is nice to see that they've included that. So yeah, so now I'm going to go into the actual camera testing. So I'm going to switch to this camera in a minute. But one thing I'm just going to tell you is it only works with Windows and a couple of versions of Mac. So I noticed it didn't work with Chrome OS, so my Chromebook doesn't actually work with it. I'm going to have to plug it into my computer and try it from there. And it also doesn't seem to work with like Linux. I'm sure it won't work with. It worked with Microsoft, obviously, because it's made by Microsoft. So any Windows device will probably work with it. It also works with a couple of Android versions, and it works with an older version of Mac. I'm sure that will be updated soon. So just keep that in mind. So if you want to use it for any other operating system, you just have to be careful. It might not work, or you might have to do some fiddling or tweaking to get it to work. So let's switch to the camera now. So this is the camera test for the Microsoft LifeCam webcam. I'm speaking to the microphone right now. As you can see, the quality isn't that bad. To be honest, for a webcam, you know, if you're talking on a Skype, let's just say you're in a Skype chat or you're talking to your friends, like gaming or whatever, I'm sure this will do plenty. However, I will talk about one thing, is the frames are severely reduced when going to low light, and it does look extremely grainy, even in quite good conditions, optimal conditions. So just keep that in mind. It is only 720p. It's not bad overall. Like I said, I'm just using the stand right now it comes with. Just moving it about. It does see obviously there's no optical image stabilization or whatever involved. You don't actually need that, to be honest. But it is working perfectly fine, as you can see. Plenty. It does seem to overexpose things as well. Just looking outside, you know, it does take a while for it to adjust to its optimal condition, and as you can see, it does look quite grainy. I will give you a test in the dark now, so just give me a second. So right now I'm talking into the microphone again, but this is a low light condition, and as you can see, this is really grainy, really grainy. You can see my speaker and my headphone hanger, which is actually just a lamp. This is quite dark, to be honest. You probably won't be in the dark like this, but you can really tell it suffers quite badly. But if I was to turn the light on just above, you do notice that things are improved slightly, and the color calibration is not too great, but it still does work a lot better. So that's what it looks like. It's not bad at all. It's just, you can see, if you just have a look at the speaker just there, it looks really grainy, So I wouldn't recommend this if you wanted to, you know, actually do videos on this, possibly. So say if you're a YouTuber, possibly a Twitch streamer, and you wanted to buy a pair of, or like a webcam, I wouldn't recommend going for this. I recommend just spending a tiny bit more money on something slightly different, which will probably act a lot better, because as you can see, it's suffering really badly, and no one likes to play, to be honest, in the like really bright light. So just keep that in mind. If you want to actually Twitch on, you know, do Twitch streams, it's not for that at all. It's mainly just for the odd Skype call, or if it's talking to your friend, and if it's just casual gaming. Just keep that in mind. I'm going to switch back to my normal mode now. Just one quick note, if you think you're being hacked, you might not be, because there is actually an LED indicator on top of the microphone to tell you if it's the camera's on. So say if I were to unplug the camera right now, or get off the camera or something like that, it will turn off. Watch. There, as you see, it's turned off and that's unplugged. So here's my final thoughts. I think this is a great camera overall, you know, little webcam, but there are lots of downsides to it. First of all, that 720p 30 fps in optimal conditions is not great, and that's the maximum resolution as well. And I've looking at reviews, people have had trouble trying to edit in like 1080p and things like that, because the quality is just not very great on this. So unless this is a good well lit Skype call, and if this is a good, you're gaming in the night and you have big lights on or there's a lot of light, you should be absolutely fine. You could probably tell the quality was not great. It was not better than my Galaxy S6 currently shooting at 1080p. It wasn't great. It's just it was a lot better than it was being in the dark, which is in that corner over there, which you could see. It wasn't great at all. So just keep that in mind if you wanted to ever use it for something different apart from Skype calls and the odd bit of gaming. But overall, I think it's great. The build is nice. It's got this amazing flexible stand thing which would hook onto virtually anything, which is good to see that they've included that. They've included it with their other webcams as well. And this is mainly aimed at business people, so just, you know, have that thought before you buy this, and that's if you do buy it. I will leave a link in the description to the US and UK links to this particular product. So if you do want to buy it, go ahead. I do approve of it. But if you really want to game, you want to be a Twitch streamer, go for a Logitech webcam, or a webcam which is, although it might be a bit more expensive, it will be night and day better. Look out for 1080p, if it says full HD video recording, at least a decent 30 FPS. Some, you know, if you take them up to the max resolution, they are awful. So just make sure that you do some research into buying a webcam. And I believe there is a new version of the C920, the C980 or whatever. Don't quote me on that. I will leave a link in the description to that as well. Simply because that shoots at 60 FPS, which is night and day better than 30 FPS. But 30 FPS is still alright. So thank you for watching another Tech United video. Sorry I didn't upload last week. I was just so busy I didn't get around to shooting a video. And it ended up costing me, you know, no video coming out. So I'm sorry for that. But please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and you want to see more. I do have a setup tour coming up just after Christmas, and I have loads more unboxings to do as more parcels arrive from in the middle of nowhere. So stay tuned for that. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos focused on all kinds of tech, whether that's phones, tablets, smartphones, cameras, microphones, all kinds of stuff. And leave a comment to say if you enjoyed this. So thank you very much for watching another Tech United video, and I'll catch you in the next one.